Yogi, you're the first one here. I'm going to play some music, do the last preparations, and then we are going to start to rock and roll, I guess. So let's have something fun to play. Let's go Happy Life. How about that? Hi guys, it is like amazing how many things you can actually do in 3 minutes. I'm actually just proud. What did I do? I printed the sheets for timing stamps that I do for Barbie. What else did I do? I went to wash my hands, I cleaned my nails, I petted a cat, I spoke to Sapphie, asked her, invited her to come over. It is quite amazing, I really have to tell you. Now if I can just go back where I was, because now I'm stuck on a screen and I don't see you guys, and that sucks. Voila, finally. Let's see, Kylie, hi, didn't see you in a while, good to see you. Oh, I see, there's like something new on YouTube. They had lots of issues they were blaming on all of us, but it was really them, so go figure. So how is your summer, guys, so far? Pandemic fatigue kicking in? How's everybody doing? I think like now the time when kids will have to go to school, that we will really see if we handle that properly or not. So, a little sniff of my Vicks. I don't know if you guys ever use this. I'm kind of like need to do it in the morning to clear my throat. So today is August 8th. Today is also Leo's birthday, and it's going to be entire 2 weeks. So happy birthday, Leos. Ooh, that's what I need. I need my little kind of like bowl where we get all of these signs, with Leo going first. And today is also Lion's Gate, which maybe I should just have kind of a completely separately kind of like addressed. It's really interesting. It's the opening, especially for Leo and Aquarian axis, kind of like setting the goals. You're kind of like heading somewhere, and this giving you this energy, kind of like vortex, that is really, really important. So let me see. We have Australia, we have US and Canada. Where are the others? My apologies, I have completely forgotten to send the invitation last night, so it might not be many people, unfortunately. But it is what it is. Maybe it's going to be quiet and you guys are going to get really, really your energies here. So this is going to be the second one, and the first one is going to be Mr. and Mrs. Leo's. So let's start. Leo, what's up in the store for August the 8th to 21st? August 8th to 21st. August 8th. Someone wants to jump out, and you're getting the Chariot reversed. Something is, you're giving up on something. Something is being thrown in a ditch. For some of you, could be mechanical issues. It could be car issues. It could be computer issues. We will see how this connects when we see everything else. Kylie, you're getting spring. We never have spring in Canada. It's just weird. I will have a spring for a week and everything goes so quickly, and then the summer is way too hot. Oh, I didn't shuffle cards properly, but oh, I did. So getting the Star reversed, you're getting Page of Wands reversed, and you're getting Six of Pentacles reversed. Now, let's combine this with that Chariot, because Chariot and Star, you did decide to come. Huh? Hi, Sapphie? That's Leo. You wanna come? Good morning. Hey. You're a little lucky charm, aren't you? Yes. You see, like, I mean, I had to have a conversation, an invitation for somebody to show up, and everything it works. Hi, Kelsey. Nice to see Coffee time with all of us. That's so cool. And Sapphie girl? Sapphie girl, can I continue for Leo's? What do you say? Uh-huh. Yes, you're invited, but I still have to do this. Yes, I do. So Leos, when the Star and the Chariot combine, that is really talking about the spiritual aspirations when they're upright. Both of them were reversed. This really tells me that there's like something that you feel it's not on the right path. Something that is probably straying you away from something. Maybe you really want something, because Chariot is really, really goal oriented. Chariot goes in a direction and just like doesn't stop, right? But I feel here, because of Star being reversed, it's kind of like you're feeling there's like something that is hopeless. Chariot can also sometimes talks about represents a bachelor or somebody who is single in tarot. Maybe you're chasing after somebody and you're thinking like, whatever, I don't know if I want to do it. But Page of Wands is there. I mean, Sapphie, you're messing everything up. And you're putting your butt in my face. That's not good. And then Page of Wands is really interesting, because that's an action, and this is you. Maybe you're feeling childish. Maybe there's like something about the child may have the issues, kind of like somebody's becoming temperamental of some sort. It could be something of a sexual nature. Oh my gosh, this is really interesting, because look at this. There's like a sex between king and queen, and like two people seem to be merged by sex, and hence, right, you have the Six of Wands, or there's like some sense of victory. almost like you're feeling stuck in some kind of situation, but you're still working the situation. Six of Pentacles is telling me, I'm going to shuffle this one more time, but Six of Pentacles is telling me as reversed, that there is not adequate give and take in the situation, right? Remember, this is the card with the scale in the general deck, and here it isn't, but he's still measuring how much he gives, right? In this particular deck, it's actually more positive. The children are really welcoming it, and it's kind of like they're like sharing it among each other. So I'll go with this meaning that somebody is also really enjoying providing it, right? It's kind of like a flow, but when it is reversed, it's kind of like the flow is going in the opposite direction, hence it almost like feels that somebody is really taking it away from you. Let me just get one more card for you here. And you're getting a Three of Pentacles. It keeps telling you, look, you need to know your game. You need to really be good at it. You need to be prepared. Three of Pentacles is an encouraging card, right? It's one of those lower cards, lower meaning 3, not 9 or 10, that has a really, really high meaning, right? So usually this 3 and 8 are connected, where 3 is like almost like when you're a student, you're at university, you really maybe even have a greater expertise while you're at university in a theoretical way, but then later you need to apply it where you don't maybe need everything. So hence here it is like where you're at the height of some sort, so you really need to be on top of your game, my dear Leo. So it sounds to me that you're going to make lemonade if life handles you, gives you lemons, and that is kind of like really important to kind of like see and absorb, right? So who is next over here? The next we will have Gemini. Any Gemini here? Where is my Barbie? Barbie is not here because I didn't send an invite, and she's like probably thinking this is not even going and happening, but that's okay. I'm going to post the things. That's why I'm marking it down, because I have people saying I cannot watch this hour and a half. Tell me where my sign is. The truth is, these kind of like live things are absorbing so much energy that it's really good to actually check all the signs, because the messages are happening anyway if you're live. As you guys who are studying here know, that in every sign you get a little bit of a message. So, and in yoga, yeah, you're like almost like on the same climate as we are here in Toronto, but now it's like so hot. It's a tropically hot. Like, I mean, it kind of calmed down a little bit in the last few days, but it's going to go back tomorrow. So we'll see. Gemini. Gemini, you're getting Nine of Swords, which is not fun. That means that you're mulling over certain things, that you're like a little bit stuck in your own world. Five of Cups, the Fool, and the Empress. Well, it's ramping it up. You're going to start, and a part of these 2 weeks, you're going to be feeling completely out of balance. You're going to feel that no matter what you start, kind of turns to poo-poo, right? You're going to feel that there are lots of, like, I mean, issues happening. I call this wash machine brain. You keep going over and over and over and over the same things, like, I mean, come on, it's dead, stop beating it, right? It also describes having no energy to really pick yourself up, kind of like to do things. And then Five of Cups, and usually in the other decks, and there's like mermaids. Recently I have like a thing for mermaids, but Five of Cups here, like, I mean, 3 cups are spoiled, spilled, and 2 cups are upright. So she's looking these 2 cups almost like, mermaids really lure the sailors. They're so beautiful, their song is so beautiful, and they have to live in the sea, right? So some of them are good, and some of them help them find the path, but some of them make them stray away because they really they're living this kind of like life of, like being half human, half fish, so not belonging to any kingdom. So hence sometimes they lure those sailors sort of as a joke. So it almost looks to me that this mermaid here prefer those games to maybe something that is true love. That's kind of how would I see it, because there is this arch, and that arch kind of to me suggests, and also I don't know if you can see it, they're like faded mountain range behind it. So it's almost like that maybe you're going to some kind of like harbor over there. But she's kind of like looking into these two cups, almost like thinking, well, somebody loves me, or what about this love, or what about what is going on, right? There is like some uncertainty of some sort that is really happening. But then I can see there is like a very strong resolve to say, never mind, I'm starting all over again. Does this mean leaving somebody? Does this mean finally getting back on your feet? This can apply in any situation. Oof, these are really, really strong cards. And look at what's hiding underneath Queen of Pentacles and Ten of Cups. You guys almost like making executive decision that your life will change, and you are not taking small increments about it. You're like just going all the freaking way, meaning I'm going to change the job, or going to have a different attitude at work. I'm going to change my family life. I'm going to change my attitude toward kids. I'm going to kind of like be completely different, better person, because you have to remember that the Fool is God's figure in tarot, and he's coming here thinking I can do everything without realization. Hey, we have gravity, you'll fall off the freaking cliff, and people are maybe not the nicest, kind of like, right? No, he has his tools in his little bag, and he feels I can do anything. So there is this kind of like transfer into this very feminine energy, and kind of like this is air and this is Venus. So we have maybe indulgence, maybe you're going to love food, maybe you're going to treat people, maybe you're going to be treated, maybe somebody's going to put you on a pedestal. You guys are making huge, you know, like when you go on all these kind of like rah seminars, positive thinking, and then some people come out of them and they do very very well. Those are the people who actually would have these two cards kind of been drawn. Like, that's very important to do. Hi George, nice to see some men over here. It was my fault. I completely forgot last night to send an invite, and good thing I remembered it in the morning. Otherwise I would like, where is everybody? So Gemini, from nightmare to heaven, you know what do you call it, from thorns to stars, ad aspera per astra, or something like that. And so I'm not afraid of you. Like, I mean, get over this sulking, get over this. That maybe it looks like you're thinking about this for a while already, and kind of like now you're getting into this phase where you're really acting on it. And then the next we have Taurus. Taurus. All right. Taurus. Leaning Yogi, I need to make you into a moderator. I don't know how come you are not already. What's going on? Here you go. We have changed that. All right. Taurus. And you have a jumper. Ooh, you have the Tower jumped out. So what is it not built properly? What kind of arguing? And that can be a whole bunch of things. It could be sexual dysfunction, which is obvious, very phallic symbol over here, right? It could be simply being in the wrong place at the wrong time, and you being told you're guilty of something, right? And hi Michelle, good to see you. Hi lovely. And this also could mean that something has been built completely wrong. Something and some fantasies are being built, but you just don't have foundation for it. Even though in this particular deck, it's kind of weird, right? Because look, there is the storm coming out of nowhere, almost like in this deck. It's going right in the top of the tower, which is almost like some kind of crown. And yet we see the sunset or something happening. So it just like it's going to be something really, really difficult, something shocking. It could be an accident of some sort. Something is going to shake you up severely. It's going to be a big one. And I don't know if my whole freaking reading career I've seen tarot card jump like this. And then you have a Seven of Wands. There is going to be some fight. Oh man, like I don't know why I'm seeing images of IV. That fight is the fight for life. So oh my gosh, I really hope it's nothing like, holy smoke, death. But that upright is not bad. It's positive. It certainly does mean something has to stop, but something is continuing at the same time. And now I'm like really freaked out a little bit. So let me just do the cut and see where we go with this. And then we have Page of Wands, which is some kind of action. Then we have Five of Wands, so Wands and Wands. And then we have Six of Pentacles. So there is the energy over here about maybe some legalities. Maybe something needs to, maybe you want something badly, but you're getting only what you need, or somebody is asking you something and you're telling them, okay, I'm not going to give you all, but I'm going to just give you a little bit, kind of a thing that could happen as well. Five of Wands to me is always about setting boundaries of some sort. I mean, I do see certain kind of like just the same as Seven of Wands that kind of jump out, right? Seven of Wands is more like where you have already established yourself and now you're not letting others take, like, I mean, the prestige or, you know, the battle or the space that you worked really hard to win. Where this is like prior to this winning point where you're trying to obtain that winning position. So it's kind of like trying to see through this push and pull how far you can go and so on and so forth, right? So this is kind of like strongly coming on, strongly. And you're really insisting that this give and take is really, really important. And it's really, really good way to kind of like land on it. Six of Pentacles is about, you know, you getting what you need. You're not going to get the world, but there's like something that is going to really balance this in the end. So for some Tauruses, it looks like it's going to be a little bit kind of like turbulent 2 weeks. For the others, it could be, for very few of you that might have some kind of like issues like an accident or a disease or something that is like has the sudden onset of some sort, which could be health issues as well, but it could be that just something breaks, or it could be fire, earthquake. Like usually the Tower can talk any of that kind of like sudden issues. So be careful, be extra careful the following 2 weeks. That's kind of like what I would say. And then the next one is Leo. Well, Leo, we read you, so we are just going to tuck you nicely away. Happy birthday one more time, my dear Leo. And we have Aries. Okay, my dear Aries people, let's see what's happening over here. You know what, YouTube is again unsubscribing, and like people are writing to me about that. And oops, let me just put a timestamp here. And so guys, you know, the best is to get on my newsletter. So this is how I tell you about the monthlies. So what I did with monthlies this month, because I kind of like programmed them to all be released at the same time, they just held back 4 monthlies. And like I didn't even notice, because my notification was that everything is okay until people told me. So only people on my newsletter did get it. So go on my website, you're going to get a pop-up to be on the newsletter. So just kind of like do that. So Aries, you're already getting a reading. So look at that. There's like a Five of Pentacles. There's like Eight of Pentacles and Seven of Wands. So you are going through something during this period that clearly you're wondering about the finances. You're wondering how to, I mean, I really like this card for the Five of Pentacles, right? What is this called? Teardrop? Is it teardrop? Or, gosh, I forgot what it is. Snowdrop, right? Snowdrop. This first sign of spring. So it's telling, basically, it's not going to be this naked. It's not going to be this cold forever. It's going to melt. Spring is going to come. It's going to be blooming all over again, right? It's just kind of like it's telling about a little patience, kind of like, and patience is not something you're really famous for, right? To be really honest. It's telling patience and hard work. This is details, details, details. She's like cleaning her, polishing her pentacle just to put it in place. So she's just making sure they're all glowing. So This is about the skill set as well. So you might be wondering about the work that you do, or maybe you're looking for a job. And this is really telling you need to present yourself in the best possible way. And you need to fend off the others. So it almost like sounds to me like a job search, because generally, you know, like, I mean, unless you're dating somebody who is kind of like trying to check how iron is your shirt and how well you're pressed, make much sense. It more or less, it talks about the day-to-day kind of like issues that you're trying to overcome or deal with, right? I actually like Seven of Wands. First of all, this dude looks like Marlon Brando, a young Marlon Brando. If you watch, like, I mean, Streetcar Named Desire, really good movie. So there is basically him against the six, and shows that he is not afraid. He is just going forward, and he just wants to get what he wants to get. So that means like he's a winner. Let's say you win a position, the next thing you know, 3 other people in the company applied for it, and now they hate you, even though you have nothing to do and you didn't put them down or anything, but simply because you're just sitting there. So there is like sometimes a rational kind of like way of kind of like dealing with these kind of like issues, right? So clearly he or she is keeping that position and not allowing others to come close, which is normal. I don't know, like, I mean, I don't know which show this was. I mean, sometimes people just redecorate their office in order to intimidate, and it's just kind of like the way it works in the nature. So you will be maintaining your position, and it might need to be some kind of like conflict or telling somebody off in order to keep that place. And it's just the way the nature is. Nothing to worry about it, but just be prepared for it. So let's see who is next. Oh, happy birthday, Anita. Oh, happy Caturday. It was covered, so I guess, so hopefully it's not. Doors, knitting yogi saying doors. Thank you. So guys, what is doors? Doors is, let me just put a timestamp here. Doors means that you ask a question. You can ask me yes or no question. I'm going to hide the screen so I can take a different deck here, and I can shuffle that different deck. So what you guys will, which deck do I take? Well, let's get a kitty cat deck over here. Ask a question, yes or no question. I'll give you yes or no answer. We are going to have the second doors later. And so I'm going to draw 3 cards. One is going to be left door, one is going to be center door, and one is going to be the right door. And I'm going to tell you the probability of that question being yes or no. Okay, so let me shuffle. Shuffle. So this is the door number 1. That is the left one. Door number 2. And the door number 3. All right. Let me go back to you guys. Let me remove this so you can actually see. And let's go, guys. Because you are here live, you can ask me follow-up and clarification for your question, and I'll do that. Unfortunately, if you're watching this at home later, like, I mean, it's already gone, and you have to modify that interpretation to your situation. Yes, did you close this screen? Like, nobody can see anything from your furry butt? No, that's right. So the door, left door, if you pick this one, is, hello, Anita. You got King of Swords reversed. There's a situation that is very unfair to you. Very unfair. You are thinking people have to see that this is unfair, but what you're not understanding that most of these people are in some kind of cahoots. You need to get that. And there's like something that is going on that is really, really kind of like weirdly positioning kind of like itself over here, right? So you need to understand over here that this is not going to happen, but not because there's like no potential. It's not happening because there are like few people who are teaming up, or they have something else as a choice. So this is not doable this time. In fact, the more you try, the more unfair it's going to look. Sorry to say. So number 2 is 7 of Cups. This is telling me this is a lots of daydreaming. That's a really big wish that you have. but you know, like it seems to be something that you're really not putting in practice, and putting, like, you're not doing lots of effort by yourself. It's almost like you're waiting for this to come to you. What basically this card tells that you actively need to go toward that, because that's going to be the next stage in the Seven of Cups happening. So I would say not yet over here. And the door number 3, you have Six of Cups. And so this is a yes, but it's kind of like you're not going to get everything that you want. You're going to get only what you need, which is basically going to be good enough if you wish. This also talks about balance, that you know, you have to make sure there's a compromise in the situation, that the other party doesn't feel, I don't know, taken over or something, because this is always talking about sharing, in this particular case, the toys and whatnot they have. So that was the first round of doors. So let's see who is next. The next sign that I have is Virgo. Knitting Yogi, that's you, right? Let me put the stamp over here. Oops. Alrighty. So Virgos. So, any follow-up questions, guys, on this yes or no? It was not really giving us a whole bunch of go for it kind of a thing, right? Okay, good, Knitting Yogi, you got a newsletter, because I figured I better send the newsletter with YouTube being so frisky. I heard that there are other companies that will go in a competition with you, but it's tough being in competition with Google, and it's going to happen. That's why TikTok is doing so well, because YouTube is messing up, and it's really poo-pooing us who basically created YouTube, but it is what it is, I guess. So Virgo, what do we have for you? Ooh, you have the Lovers, you have the Fool, oh my goodness, and you have King of Pentacles. This is like fantastic. I mean, the Lovers is really the card of choices, but when it's upright, it talks about good choices. It talks about, look at her, she's kind of like giving and guiding them toward her, right? Come over. There is like some kind of like a feeling of that you're on the right path, whether this means a choosing choice of a partner, or this means that somehow you are, this can be also getting a job, this can be also resolving issues in your family, that sort of things. So there is like something new, and usually this combination shows up after you had difficulties or issues with somebody, let's say with a partner, and you kind of took a break, or it was, you know, some argument, and now you're coming back and you're kind of like thinking things together, sort of things, right? So it's just telling me that things are getting in balance. King of Pentacles, if you are not single, that means, you know, like, I mean, you're like really good with your partner, something is strong, something is going on in a really, really good way. Things are all right, right? Versus, right, if you are single, that means that somebody true and right will show up, but you need to look for this person. This could be male or female. This is a general reading, guys. That's why you always need to take a look at your sun sign, ascendant, and a moon sign in order to get more information, right? So Ezekiel was worried about my intuition that I'm going to be okay. Cool. So guys, if you had some disturbances, they're going to be resolved. This is also talking about feeling a very good financial stronghold, that something is kind of like going to work out. King of Pentacles is absolutely rolling up his sleeves and working very, very hard. But like this card is also telling us that this person also enjoys luxury. So it kind of like goes kind of like in hand, and that is really, really important, right? So that kind of like can work out here together. So guys, you're going to really fabulous 2 weeks. You're like on the right target. You're being guided in a good direction. If you get to the situation where you say, it's maybe risky, just take this leap. Take this leap, take a chance of somebody, take a chance on something. It's going to turn out okay in many, many more ways than in one. So That's absolutely freaking awesome over here. Okay, who is next? Who is next? Capricorn. 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 Let me see. So Capricorn, let's see. Oh, my pen ran out now in the middle of everything. Why? Okay. Luckily, I have the other pens over here. So we'll do that. Capricorns. Oops. Switch my screen. Why is that? I want to be with you people. No, I don't want to report anybody. Why are you again? Do you want to report anybody? No? Okay, you are going back in the corner. So how about click here? Okay, good. Any Capricorns here? Ooh. You got a whole bunch of things coming through. So you get the Tower. You get 9 of Cups. You get 6 of Swords. You get King of Pentacles, 3 of Cups, and 10 of Pentacles. So let's remind ourselves you are like an earth sign. To you feeling grounded. To you feeling career oriented. To you feeling that you need to maybe have your work somehow involved with the work with hands in order to push you forward. Like all of those are really, really important things. This could be you, this King of Pentacles, feeling comfort. So you guys are going to go through some kind of like shakeup. It starts with the Tower. It starts with, I don't know, you open the door and somebody goes, oh my God, my house is burning. It might not be even you. The Tower can be something that affects you. And even though it didn't happen to you, like I gave this example, you're like at the intersection and right in front of you, cars collapse and you're like really, really shaken even though you're fully okay, right? But after something happened, after you're in some kind of situation, it almost looks to you that you are kind of like from that point getting some kind of wisdom that is telling you that you really need to start seeing yourself in a different way, because 6 of Swords is movement. It could be travel, like it's the bridge over troubled waters. Look, there's like all kind of like wavy, where here is nice and calm. And these swords are really difficult to kind of like be in the boat. So how long is this boat going to last with kind of like being positioned this way? But nonetheless, somebody is really determined to go on the other side. So maybe, you know, separated from somebody and now you kind of like realizing, well, you know, I just don't even want to think about the past, or you need something else, or you need to feel in a different way. It's going to be some kind of realization that happens from something that has been very unsavory, very shocking. That realization is going to get you to much higher ground. You're going to realize who you are. You're going to realize who your friends are. You're going to realize what you really need in your relationship, in your family. So it's going to be almost like tectonic change. You're going to feel that you have been on the wrong path and now you're switching, and you're going to feel absolutely comfortable in this new direction. So I don't think we have Capricorns here. Usually Chris is here, but as I said, it was my flaw. My fault not to send this on time, so I guess people didn't count this in, but I guess they're going to hear it later. So who is next? Who is next? Next is Scorpio. All right, Scorpio is Scorpio. Let's see, guys. And Tiger and Sapphie are chasing each other around. That's kind of like cute. Scorpio. Scorpio, Scorpio, and Scorpio. Look at the 6 of Pentacles keeps coming so frequently. Scorpio, are you dealing with some kind of Leo of some sort? Oh my gosh, this is so weird. We have 6 of Pentacles. we have Strength, and we have Queen of Pentacles. So again, Six of Pentacles for you came up upright. It is really talking about a give and take. There's like something that you really need to do. You're either dealing with Leo, or there's some kind of level of generosity, because both of these cards are really talking about generosity. Maybe you're depending on generosity of somebody. Maybe you're in a position to be generous. In any case, things will have to be resolved properly. And this is really talking about a wife, or maybe, you know, maybe it's going to be proposal. Maybe this is earth. This is earth sign, an earth element, but this also can mean wife. I always see somebody like when you get into this position, well, then you got married and there's like something going on over here, right? So I really think over here, guys, for you, it seems like maybe you're like coming, this is also to me a card of commitment. Both of them are. So maybe you're proposing, maybe you're being proposed to, maybe something is moving forward for you, something is coming in balance, like it was like that missing element on teeter-totter, you couldn't kind of get it, now finally it's done, finally something feels right, finally something is really, really going right in kind of like in a good direction. So yes, George, so that's really good to kind of like look for that as well. I mean, this is really telling you that something that maybe you deemed not workable in the past is suddenly is going to become workable. In fact, you're going to really embrace this entire situation. So guys, happy anniversary, or happy engagement, happy moving together. I think this is in store, because something really phenomenal will be happening to you. If you're not with somebody, then that Queen of Pentacles that showed up means that a really, really good partner who is going to have really good understanding is going to be there, and there's going to be somebody very beautiful. Queen of Pentacles is extremely, extremely beautiful, right? So that's a bonus, I guess I would say. Who do we have next? We have Pisces. So Pisces, I did talk about Lionsgate, yes, and it's kind of tricky this year around, but it is what it is. So thanks for JTPs for talking about that. So Pisces, you're also getting a whole bunch of things coming out. So King of Wands, Man, Knight of Wands, Page of Wands, and the Hermit. It almost sounds to me that you're going to have so many things happening in your life. Maybe you have people, maybe you have some kind of like events, maybe you have, you know, gatherings. You are very busy. King of Wands is freaking awesome, but not necessarily exactly your type, right? Because there's somebody moving and shaking, taking you places, you like that. But then after a while you go, I'm tired. Just kind of like, I'm stay at home, hug and watch, you know, like I'm in a movie of some sort, right? So Knight of Pentacles to me is the ultimate. I love this knight. He's on the black horse, all the other knights are on the white, right? He's not moving very far, but he's like embracing everything that he sees. He's really feeling energized. Look at, he has this like, I mean, big shield. So he is padded with money and with reputation, but this doesn't mean that he doesn't pay and respect everybody around him. This to me can also talk about friendship as well. So, you know, so it has three levels, right? A page is like very young, or it could be very immature. Knight is somebody who is not necessarily, let's say, in the close circle. It's somebody who comes in and out, right? Because knights are always sent to the battle. They come back, they don't come back. And generally this can actually talk about a one-night stand, or somebody who doesn't have the entire commitment. Well, King of Wands is willing to commit, but he kind of like already has his system developed, and he kind of like wants things to happen his way. So it sounds to me that you might be dating multiple people, or you might be having different influences around you, or you might be mulling over kind of like what is that you really need. Maybe you're feeling, well, each time I kind of like feel I want this, then very soon I kind of like get tired of this and I just go into something else. And that's why the Hermit comes last, because you're kind of like drawing or deducting some kind of like wisdom from all of these elements, right? Hermit is like finding your own thing and not being basically taken by the shiny King of Wands, right? Or the money from Knight of Pentacles promises, or maybe somebody's childish ways, but kind of like really finding who you are and what you need. I really have to say that if you choose, that you probably will go for this Knight of Pentacles. You need to know this comes with the territory that it will take time for them to commit, if they commit at all. But it's better to go for something that is kind of like your theme than going into something that, maybe not the right shoe and the right fit. But I would say overall, Hermit, I like it. Maybe you have just too much activity and you're pulling away and I just need to sleep. I just need to relax. Right, Sapphie? Are Pisces going to be okay? Really? Are they going to go for King of Wands? How about for Knight of Pentacles? No? How about Page of Wands? Nobody? So they're going to decide that everybody stay aside and you kind of like need your own space. Maybe that's what's going to be. That's what the Sapphie's interpretation is. So just kind of like Young Kai, usually Barbie does that. My apologies, like this time I screwed up big times, because I usually in the evening prepare invitation and I send it. I have completely forgotten that last night. I was like sleeping so early and I just sent it in the morning. So we already did certain signs. We did Aries and Taurus and Gemini and Leo and Virgo and Scorpio and Capricorn, and now I did Pisces that I even didn't put the stamp for, so I'm going to put it here. So if you have a particular sign from these that I have listed, no, we're not on Taurus now, we are on Pisces. We just finished Pisces. Taurus was before. So if you have a particular sign, then I'm going to tell you the timestamp, and also I'm going to post timestamps when we are done, because Barbie didn't show up because she didn't know, and I didn't want to send her last minute notice that she has to drop everything. It just doesn't seem to be fair. Barbie is Libra and she will go, WTF, what the heck you want? I want to help, but give me some preparation. So now I'm going to get, because she's Libra also, she's going to say, why didn't you call me? Right? Kind of like a thing. Yes, Sapphie. The next one is us. Look, that's you. You, Mrs. February 4th. Aquarius, when the moon is in... Let's see what we Aquas will be going through the next. Yes. Here, let me just write this in so people know, because I can see that people are jumping here. So, signs done. What's doing it here? You sat on my paper, Sapphie. You sat on my paper. I cannot see that. Yes. All right, so here it is what was done. And thank you for your intervention. So who did I say we are doing right now? I completely forgotten right now. Aquarius. Oh my gosh, how can I forget that? So that's right. Aquarius, Aquarius, Aquarius. Stamp. So we have the Emperor. We have Six of Swords. And we have the Star. This is actually very lovely. The Emperor in this particular deck is very different. The Emperor is not looking at us like, head on. So it's not that intimidating. What is really weird that he's sitting in this shield in the middle of basically nowhere, in this like really royal chair, and there is like this kind of like holding life, and then he's looking at the children. It almost like reminds me of a father who proudly looks at his children and seeing kind of like what kind of troubles and circumstances and issues he had to go through in order to put them through, and he's still looking forward to kind of like making their life more more livable, more likable, more improved, right? The Emperor, and we live in the year number 4, and did you see we got more than we bargained for? Year 4 is like we need to put things right, we need to stabilize, we need to control, kind of like everything has to work out properly, right? So here it's really talking about us maybe getting analysis of our life, trying to look forward what we really want to put forth. If you wish, some of you will be reviewing your own legacy and how to deal with that legacy. And we are going to kind of like do something smart. We're going to take good things, and these kids are representing our projects, real kids, our projects, ideas, and people in our life. So we are kind of like going out of problems. We are going towards solution, because here is our card that is coming through, right? So this is really lovely, right? So let me say this is also 10, 27, it's 9. It almost looks to me that Aquarians maybe had a phase that maybe lasted quite a while. The Emperor is a major and the Star is a major. So maybe the last 17 months, maybe even almost to 2 years, 17 to 21 months. So it's kind of really correlates to when I got Tiger. Were kind of iffy. It was something that we almost kind of like struggled to stay on the surface and just struggled to find our sea legs, to find our footing, and kind of figure out the direction where we need to go. 6 of Swords is like saying, whatever. We need to understand that there is like this motion, we are moving on. It is a choice, we are making the choice, and the choice is we are claiming ourselves. This is our card. We need this nourishment. We need the nourishment physically, mentally, emotionally. But that nourishment, which means you'll be probably getting proper diet, you'll be probably getting proper medications, you'll be probably surrounding yourself with the people who are positive, who wish you well, who want to do kind of like good things. You probably will kind of like think about the people who you want in your life. There is like a one big star. So we have this one big idea, right? Sometimes it's not achievable, like the, peace on earth and that kind of stuff. It sounds great, but like, I mean, imagine how many little balls and elements you need to move in order to get there, right? So this is happening right now, and we might be actually getting behind the support of the other people. We might be getting behind us people who now see us as a positive force, where the same thing maybe has been viewed as a negative or unachievable or unrealistic. You have your head in the clouds, or simply taking you as a fool, right? Because fool is God, but he comes in tarot as an air because he descends down on this planet, right? And it just like seemed to be somebody overly optimistic who maybe needs to learn a little bit about caution and kind of like sort of duality on this planet. So Aquarians, we're going to get solid. We're going to realize what stays, what goes. We are going to maybe move away from some people, from some circumstances, and we hope that we're getting in a better place. It's going to be that better place by the end of these 2 weeks, because we are going to feel in our own element. We're going to feel that finally we're moving forward, that finally things are turning around. So I'm really glad to report this, because I can use some of that too. So that's awesome. So let's see the next. So what do we see here? Let me catch up. Lana. Hi, Lana. Welcome. I don't remember I seen you. Always seeing Tower in my readings. Tower, it's kind of like one of those things, if you follow tarot, you learn to love it. Tower is almost like waking you up. It's saying, come on, you fell at the wheel. You need to. Tower saves us. It's very uncomfortable when it happens, but it saves us. So maybe kind of like we have to find this love relationship for it, right? Kind of like somebody grabs you and they squeeze you, but they removed you from the train that is going to hit you. That's kind of like how you need to kind of like look at our non-eating yogi. We're going to do doors when we are done. We have just 3 more, and then I'm going to do doors in the end. So yes, knitting yogi, we can use this smooth water. So the next one is Cancer. So Cancer, your stamp. Cancer. Cancer. Hi, MK. Looks like lots of people felt this kind of is around about the same. So anybody who has Aquarius something, do you feel that this was like something that lasted a while, maybe 21 months? Like it was like between 4 and 21 months that I kind of like, that's good. Holy moly, Cancer. I can't take 25 cards, but these ones I can. Four of Cups, King of Cups, and Page of Wands. This is you. Maybe you're getting out of some kind of melancholy. I have seen that in your reading. That was like hilarious, Cancers. It was like, come on, like, I mean, what's happening? Why you're in such a funk? Like, you need to get out of that mood. You need to kind of like start, you know, doing things. Because look at the mermaid is here looking at a boy who, no matter what comes to him, he just is unhappy. He's not even seeing that there are options for him. And Cancer sometimes get that way. They kind of like get moody. But I really think what cards are saying that very, very quickly you'll get over these kind of things. And you're getting into the full force. That's kind of you, this King of Cups. You have so much to offer. It's emotional kind of thing. And maybe there's like something with your own kids, because both Page of Wands is kids and here is showing a kid. It almost kind of show that maybe you had some issues with a child. Maybe somebody suffered from depression. Hello? Do you love Cancers? How much? Very much? Maybe somebody has issues with depression of some sort, or maybe something has happened. It almost like tells me like there is a family and everybody's like kind of like surrounded and they're looking in this like one thing, right? And they're trying to, it's kind of like where emotional support is needed of some sort. And that's going to kind of like really unite everybody, because I can see this rebounding. I can see these things moving forward. I can see this Page of Wands. You look at him, he's like cheery, he's looking up, he's saying I can do it. Well, this is the powerhouse. Like this kind of like has this like tremendous energies. Like everything is like full of steam. Everything really kind of like goes in some kind of direction. So you guys might start with a little funk, a little bit kind of like, what the heck, what do I do? But this is going to end on a high note. By the time we start entering, like, I mean, these last days of August, you're going to feel very energized. Maybe this summer doesn't suit you very well, I don't know, but there's like some kind of like family connection. There's like some kind of like unit connection. Maybe you need nurturing. Maybe you just simply need to start trying different options that so far you didn't look. You need to simply look up. There is like, I mean, when you start looking up, you're going to find that people are there who will help you, who will nurture you, and you will be ready to go. You'll be ready to kind of like go in a new direction. So let me see. Catch up. What are the answers? Yes, like just being able to keep my head above water. MK, I decide only people who truly want the best for me are allowed in your life, for sure. Been draining. Good to know it's going to change for Aquarius. Yes, and it's happening right now. Like, I mean, great. Vigorously kicking the rest out. Yes, yes, yes. Working for 2 years on yourself, taking the right path, like loving yourself. That's, I love it. I love it that you hear it. So, okay, so it's just not me. It's just not my life. So it's kind of like happening. And I'm also seeing this changing. So we have 2 more left. Libra. Oh, I'm starting to get this feeling. I'm getting these, that Barbie will be mad. I thought I want to be nice and she'll be mad. Why didn't you call me? So please, next time when you're around, just tell her that I was thinking about her, so she doesn't really come hard on me. So Libra, let's see. Well, Libra is my ascendant. We don't know for you because we don't know the time when Kitty Cat was born. Right, Sapphie? But we know that she's Mrs. Chit Chat. Mrs. Chit Chat, yes, you're a pretty girl. Yes, Libra. Then we have, oh, Sapphie is the general. Did you see that? She's trying to get the card out, right, Sapphie? We have Death reversed. We have the Star reversed. And we have a Five of Wands. Libra, you're making something painful that shouldn't be painful. Death reversed is not a good place to be. Not at all. So this is 4, this is 8. This is vibration of 4, this is vibration of 8, right? So 4 is like almost like building the base of the house, the foundations, right? So building, let's say, the first floor, and this will be like, I mean, now building the second floor and kind of like looking up, kind of like your foundation on a foundation, kind of like, if you wish, right? So that's why it's kind of like looking toward the star, like now you can relax, and it's usually the bedrooms on the top floor, if you use this kind of like metaphor, right? But that's card talks about transformation, that some transformation needs to happen, but it's really hard for this transformation to happen because sometimes we are in a way, sometimes we just want what we want and we are not willing to negotiate, we are not willing to kind of like sidestep of some sort, because together these two cards are telling me that there is a standstill, there's an impasse, and you're feeling that you are at some kind of like a mercy, that you know, you just need to accept what is given to you. And since you're Libra, this is not in your nature. You always kind of like go and try to kind of like rebalance things. And that's why that scale always go up and down. So it's going to be lots of turbulence. I'm not going to lie to you, my dear Libras, because that's also is booted with here 5 of Wands. Kind of like you're fighting for your place. You're kind of like saying you're not relinquishing your spot in something. This could be relationship. You might be dealing with Scorpio, you might be dealing with Aquarius, but you might be dealing with fixed signs. And when this fixedness comes through, it really usually talks about that something from your life needs to be ripped. It's something you're really getting used to, that is becoming normal to you, but it's not normal. You know, like Stockholm syndrome, like you're being trapped, but like, I mean, you start falling in love with your captor because all of a sudden this whole freaky situation is becoming normalized to you. It's not normal. Then you have to undo all the psychological patterns in your head. So that's why in 5 of Wands, we see this battle, right? 5 of Wands to me is also establishing boundaries, is the proverbial line in the sand. And this is really good. Like you are getting this roar out and you're saying, no, this is not good. I'm not going to be treated this way. But it's going to be some kind of like period where it's going to be really difficult. I'm not lying to you, but by the end of this period, you're really waking up with force. And most people don't know, like, I mean, Libra is very sweet on the surface, but try to rattle Libra. It's going to be like rattling a rattlesnake, and good luck to you, kind of like a thing. So Libra, I don't know who this is that you're really tolerating, but maybe you shouldn't be tolerating other situation at work or situation, something that is supposed to finish and it hasn't finished, and hence it's prolonging some kind of turmoil, and it's just kind of like not cool, right? And that's kind of like really interesting kind of thing. Yeah, I noticed that the connection is again going up and down, so let me refresh it on my end. I think we have one more left. Oh, what's happening? Oh, is it going to get me back? Please. Oh, okay, I don't know. It's really telling me that YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming, but on my end, I checked. I have everything okay on my end. So hopefully you're back. So now the last ones are Sagittarians, and I know you guys, I know you want to get your cuddly. Do you like Saggies? Really? Really? Come on. Come on. Saggies. Saggies. I know, wasn't that weird? So weird. It's kind of like almost like, no, you're not supposed to hear this because I want to keep you captive. I want to keep you trapped. But the whole solution was, no, I'm speaking up. I'm telling you off. I'm doing kind of like stuff, and stop, kind of leave me alone. And I didn't put the Libras thing here. So let's do this. Sagittarians. Sagittarians. Good, 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 good. Okay. Hi, Kelsey. And then we have, ta-da, the Tower. Then we have the Lovers. And then we have 3 of Wands reversed. Why is this reversed? I mean, all adds to 16. It's all adding to some one big tower. Are you guys making a love decision? Again, the Lovers is really misnomer, because the Lovers is about a choice. I mean, the story of basically the Fool that is coming, like Fool is going through the stages in Major Arcana, like Fool's travels. And when he comes to the stage number 6, he sees this beautiful woman, right, which is usually naked, but here they didn't make them naked. And he's like mesmerized with the beauty. So she's not like a mother like the Empress that he met before, right? She's just like different, and he has different feelings. He's aroused with this woman. And he's saying, I don't think I really want to travel. I just really want to stay here and just enjoy it. Angel is saying, this is a learning lesson. You have to finish your path. You have to graduate. When you graduate, you can come back to any level that you want, right? So now this is where it really gets interesting, because Tower 16, 1 and 6 is 7, right? And you also have the Magician. Maybe somebody's cooking something in the background for you or against you. And here's a 6, 7 and 6. So there is like kind of like taking a step back. Maybe you're attracting back to a relationship that you know. Maybe you're going back to the situation that you felt, well, this is the last time that I know that certain things worked, and I really, really want to go in that direction, right? The Tower happens when, again, you strayed away from your own path, and now you have to figure out where you really need to go, right? So George, Libra was done. You can go back to 59 and kind of like see it. So 3 of Wands is telling me it's also about something coming back. 3 of Wands is generally moving in a new direction, trying new things, new business. It's generally kind of like more or less entrepreneurial. It would be selling things, right? It would be investment of some sort, right? It could be also kind of like there's this moving stage. It's the card of ships generally. I mean, you can even see ship here, and usually people say ships are kind of like arriving, but are they arriving or are they leaving, right? So maybe you're just simply right now didn't get the return of what you wanted. Maybe you're investing in a relationship, but overall, when I really look at it, it sounds to me, and I don't know, is my air conditioning too loud? I can turn it off if you wish. So this is really telling me that maybe it's kind of like shake-up of some sort. Maybe, you know, and this is normal. Like, I mean, if whole life was always like heaven, that's why I don't really believe in hell or heaven. It would be so weird, like if you always get crap, like you just don't have will to live, and no amount of religious teaching or kind of like prep talk or is going to work, right? So you need to have some kind of balance, and that balance would be, let's say, have 25 days out of month really great, and the other kind of like 6 not that great. So these 6 can remind you what great means, and that you're always kind of grateful. So that's, I think, that recipe for happiness, if you really wish. So maybe it looks to me that you might have something like that happening, where you'll be reminded how things can go in the wrong direction, and then you're like really kind of like thinking you're a good gods and everything, and maybe you wanted to leave somebody, but you are not, because now you're realizing that this is supposed to be, and that's how you really want to have it, and kind of like sit put, and maybe you're still not spreading your wings at this time for something else. So that's kind of like where I see it, right? Okay, so there it is, and we are going to do another kind of like pick a card, another doors. So guys, you can think of another question over here. So let me just put this marker down over here. So think of the question that you want to have it answered. You can even think about 2 questions, there are 3 questions, and have the different doors or the same one assigned to it. So that's kind of like an option that you have. Just like think about that, right? So let me cover this and start shuffling this deck. All right, so shuffle for the questions. Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. All right, now let's see the jumpers for door number 1. Kind of jump out for the people who, okay, I did get jumpers for door number 1. Jumpers for door number 2. I have 2 cards for door number 1. For number 2, I got a card that started upright, but it reversed under, and I have 3 cards that came for door number 3. So this one is really going to give us a little bit more information if you wish. So let's do that. So door number 1 over here, and not many people stayed here, is really interesting. 2 major arcanas. This is a yes, but this is also telling you you are now leaving something karmic. So watch your steps, make sure that you are doing the best possible, that you have the best possible attitude, that you are doing things in the best interest of everybody. So that is really, really important to know. So it is a yes, but it's also that maybe some confession will be needed in this situation as well. So the door number 2, as I said, it was like it just jumped upright, but it was going reversed. And it's actually much better when it's reversed in this particular case, right? So when it's upright, if somebody's feeling closed in, somebody is not really interacting, and hence there's no flow of energy. When this reverses, is that understanding that you kind of like need to kind of like interact. So this, to translate in yes or no question, means that you need to do some effort on your own in order for this happens. If you do the adequate effort, you will be rewarded, right? And the door number 3 is 2 of Swords, Queen of Wands, and the Hangman. So this is really telling me that there is like some situation over here where you simply need to sit and wait. You need to be who you are. And this card here is talking about the decision between head and heart. That something is really, really hard. And something is also very tricky. It takes lots of nuances to get there. The good thing is, like, I think the Queen of Wands is you, right? That you're sitting, or maybe you're waiting for something to come to you. If this is you, if you're waiting, then it would mean that you will continue to wait throughout this 2-week period. Hangman shows that somebody is in a sacrificed position, that somebody's sacrificing themselves for some understanding. It could be just simply to understand kind of like what is really going on, to understand how that person feel. That can also mean somebody cheats, and that is a part of the healing process, and so on and so forth. So that could be like that you're observing that kind of situation. Maybe somebody is not coming close. If this is not you, this could be somebody coming to you who is making all of these concessions, and somebody is willing to do that. Somebody is willing to put things in balance, right? So either way, because Queen of Wands being so positive, the positivity is very important. That's why she has these sunflowers, and kind of like following this energy, like, right, we have the sun, which is the sun and the moon are like a mother, like father and a mother, are very important in tarot, in any kind of like mythology, right, in astrology. So here we are going through transition of Leo, and Leo is ruled by the sun, so it is in its own native basically sign, which is really great for everybody but for Aquarians, because we are the weakest, because we are on the other side of the axis. But nonetheless, even though we are weak physically, we can still do lots of mental thinking, and hence, even though we are kind of like usually just lying down in bed for a month, and it is the best time for our vacation, we do lots of thinking, and we'll do lots of things what we can do in the future. So this is also something that is going to just ask for patience over here, and It might not happen depending on your engagement. So this is me from me. I hope that you liked it. I'm so sorry that I didn't give you this on time. I'm actually going to start putting it in my calendar right away. Make sure you release the notices, so that way in the future, you know, like my aging process, that is forgetfulness, doesn't kick in. So thank you all for kind of being done. And George, if you want to check Libra, it's at 59 mark, so that's somewhere about. And I am going to put this timestamps soon, so that way you can guys go and review it. Hopefully I'll see you in 2 weeks again. And then we have one more time, 2 weeks, and then we are going back on the weekly rhythms. So we're going to spend more time when, you know, the summer is over and we kind of have to go back to normalization of our lives. So love you all. I'm going to play some shorter music to kind of like close this all off, and then I'm going to look forward to see you in what? In about 2 weeks. In exactly 2 weeks. All the best. Guys, have a beautiful weekend and have a beautiful 2 weeks ahead. You know that I love you.